Before this story begins, before I tell you what happened that changed everything, I want you to do something for me. If you love emotional stories that make you question life, age, love, and the choices we think we're too old to make, then subscribe to this channel. Because what you're about to hear isn't just a story, it's a confession. And trust me, you'll want to stay until the end. I will never forget that day. Not because it was loud or dramatic or cinematic, but because it was quiet. And then, in one single breath, everything shifted. For years, my life had moved in soft repetition. Predictable, organized, safe. The kind of life that looks peaceful from the outside, but feels hollow when you're the one living inside it. I was 59. 59. Such a heavy number when you say it out loud. But I never felt like that number belonged to me. Inside, there was still a woman who remembered being 25. Still remembered being desired. Still remembered laughing without calculating how she looked while doing it. Every morning followed the same ritual. Wake up. Brush my hair slowly. Put water on the stove. Watch steam rise from a cup of coffee like it carried secrets. And then I would stand by the window. Always the window. The world outside moved with urgency. Cars passing. Neighbors rushing. Young couples arguing over nothing important. Life still had speed out there. Inside my house, it had slowed to a whisper. I took care of myself. I exercised. I dressed well. I moisturized. I held on to every small defense against time. But no cream can moisturize loneliness. And no mirror can reflect what's missing inside. That emptiness had become my silent roommate. Until Anthony. Anthony was 23. 23. The delivery boy. At least, that's what he was supposed to be. The first time he rang my doorbell months ago, I didn't think much of it. But then I noticed something. He looked at people when he spoke. Really looked at them. Most delivery drivers move fast. Drop the box. Get the signature. Leave. Anthony lingered just half a second longer. Just enough to make you feel seen. I told myself it was nothing. Then I started ordering things online. Books I didn't need. Candles I already owned. Kitchen gadgets I would never use. Packages arrived almost daily. And with each doorbell ring, my heart betrayed me. It would race. Ridiculous, I know. A 59-year-old woman feeling anticipation over a 23-year-old delivery driver. I tried to shame myself out of it. But the heart doesn't respond to lectures. It responds to electricity. And that morning changed everything. I was walking back from the grocery store when I saw him. Anthony was riding his motorbike down the street, balancing a stack of packages behind him. Sunlight hit his face. He looked so alive. Before I could even register what was happening, his front tire slipped. The bike skidded. And he fell. Right in front of me. Time slowed in that strange way it does during emergencies. Anthony. The bags fell from my hands as I ran toward him. He tried to sit up immediately, brushing himself off like nothing had happened. But I could see the pain. His knee was scraped raw. His elbow bleeding. Yet he smiled. That same warm, steady smile. Judith, I'm fine. It's nothing serious. Nothing serious? I felt something surge inside me. Protective. Fierce. Don't be ridiculous, I said, more firmly than I expected. You're not fine. You're coming inside. He hesitated. That polite distance again. But I didn't give him space to argue. I helped him lift the bike to the curb. Slid my arm under his. I felt the strength in his body even as he leaned slightly into me. Inside my house, the air felt different. Charged. I guided him to the couch. When I opened the first aid kit, my hands trembled. Not because of blood, but because he was here. In my living room. Close. Too close. I knelt in front of him and gently cleaned his wounds. His skin was warm. Youthfully warm. I hadn't touched someone like that in years. Sorry for bothering you, he said quietly. I looked up. His eyes weren't joking now. They were soft. You're not bothering me, I replied. You fell. I'm not heartless. Silence followed. But it wasn't empty. It was heavy. When I pressed the bandage against his arm, our fingers brushed. Just a brief contact. But the air shifted. He didn't pull away immediately. Neither did I. Judith, he said slowly. And the way he said my name felt different. I didn't expect you to be this kind. Something about those words cracked something open inside me. Kind. Was that what he saw? Not old. Not lonely. Not invisible. Kind. I swallowed. You're not just some delivery boy. I said before I could stop myself. I see how you treat people. You notice things. That matters. I could feel my cheeks warming. Why was I saying so much? But it was too late to pull back. And being around you, I hesitated. Makes me feel alive. The room went still. His expression changed. There was hesitation. Yes. But also something stronger. Recognition. Slowly he leaned a little closer. Not enough to cross a line. But enough to blur it. And that's when I realized. This was only the beginning. After a moment he shifted slightly and said, You know, the place I'm staying right now is really far from work. I've been thinking of finding something closer. But everything is expensive. It felt like fate handing me an opportunity. Or maybe temptation. I had a small apartment next to my house. Empty for months. I hadn't rented it out, because I never felt like it. But suddenly I knew why. Anthony, I said gently. I have a small apartment next door. It's available. If you want it, I can rent it to you. Cheap. His eyes widened. Really? Yes. In that moment, I knew my quiet life had just cracked open. The next morning, I stood at my window again. But this time, I wasn't watching strangers. I was watching Anthony. He arrived with a truck and 2 friends. Carrying boxes. Lifting furniture. Laughing. His arms flexed as he moved. There was something mesmerizing about his energy. Youth isn't just physical. It's movement. It's momentum. And I hadn't felt that in years. After a while, I poured coffee into a thermos and walked over. You must be exhausted, I said. Dinner is on me tonight. His friends thanked me but had to leave. When evening came, Anthony knocked. Alone. I didn't want you to be alone tonight, he said softly. Something inside me melted. Over dinner, the conversation deepened. We talked about his dreams. He wanted to study business one day. Start something of his own. No one had asked him about his dreams before. Not really. And I realized, maybe no one had asked me about mine in a very long time either. As I stood to grab plates, he followed into the kitchen. We were close. Closer than necessary. You're different, he said quietly. Different how? You don't treat me like I'm invisible. I looked at him. And for the first time in years, I didn't feel invisible either. I reached for a bottle of wine. To new beginnings, I said. He held my gaze as he took the glass. And in that moment, the monotony of my life shattered completely. Because something had begun. Something neither of us fully understood. Something that would test judgment. Challenge age. Rewrite rules. And I had no idea how far it would go. If this story moved you, don't forget to like the video and share your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel for more powerful stories that stay with you long after they end.